and welcome to the first video in our Common App topic breakdown series. If you're totally new to Common App, then make sure to check out our blog post here to get some background information on the Common App itself. In this video, I'm going to go over prompt number 1. Some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. Common App number 1 is a topic that's been around for some time, so it's been many years since students could use this as their application essay, and it's one that students will often instantly avoid. The most common thing I hear from students is that they don't like to talk about themselves. But I think this might be the best topic for students who have difficulty in filling in their essay with awards or special events. Two things to remember: schools want to know who you are and if you can write well. There are many sample essays online for this topic and its variations. Some sample essays will talk about the student's family, culture, family history, or some other aspect of their upbringing. These are all great. For this series, I'm going to refer to 50 successful Ivy League application essays by Jen and Kelly Tanabe. It's a great first book if you haven't read any college essay collections yet. Chapters 9 and 10 are devoted only to topic number 1, to family and background related essays. Okay, so back to our breakdown. Since you're supposed to explain the student behind the transcript here, and this topic does such a good job of that, it's been on here for a very long time. This means you'll be able to ask older friends or family members for ideas and also find many of them online. Great sample essays for this topic all have this in common. You should read it and think no one else could use it. Students often tell me that the sample essays for topic 1 seem to be very unhelpful since there are almost no sentences or phrases that they can actually use in their essay. But the point of reading sample essays is to understand the range in which essays can be written. For us, we refer to our students' essays, and the similarities in winning essays, regardless of structure, are simple. Essays are unique, show a mastery of written English, and create a very clear image of an aspect of the student's personality that is not covered by recommendations or the transcript. So, how does that help you? Once you've looked at a sample essay or two, just so you are aware of appropriate sentence composition and diversity in vocabulary use, then you can start actually brainstorming this. A good essay will explain in some way who you are. A great essay will explain how you got into your expressed field of interest. Not the same thing as a major, but it's also very obvious to people who read essays as a job when an essay wasn't planned out. Random digressive essays are very confusing since they lack a central message. Brainstorming prevents that. Plan out every single sentence or idea first. Don't do this. I always freak out when students tell me they're good on brainstorming, and this is what I get back. The problem with this brainstorming is that even though the student might have the exact outline in their head, it's going to be very difficult to compare your brainstorming for different topics without actually writing them out so you can easily compare them visually without relying on memory and luck. The goal here is total essay planning. You don't need to stick to your paragraph numbers or plan how many words are in each sentence, but the sequencing of all of your information is very important so that you stay on message. So a good sample brainstorming for this topic would be something like this. In this brainstorming outline, the student is preparing a 3-paragraph essay about how their interest in climate change came to be. They discuss doing different things, such as a fair, talking about people who influence them, and other science activities. Just from the outline, it's very clear this student has demonstrated interest in science. Writing a perfect essay is hard enough that this level of outline is necessary before you even start doing the actual sentences. Here, let's take a look at a totally different outline for this topic, one done by a musically inclined student. Here, in this one, the student has decided to focus on their journey as a musician. Paragraph 1 starts with learning to play. Paragraph 2 is a first win. Paragraph 3 is the biggest award. Biggest here means national being bigger than regional, regional being bigger than local. Paragraph 4 ends with how they share what they've learned. This is a great setup for an essay because there are stories in each part that would only fit this student. Taking a look at these two side by side, even though it's the same topic, you can see that these two students are stating different interests and very clearly. One is geared towards science while the other is geared towards a music package. The idea is to get your brainstorming to this point before you start writing, because you will not just be able to wing an amazing conclusion that ties everything back together unless you have a plan before you start writing. This takes an hour or two for each topic to do it right, but with this much planned out for your essay, you can start rolling ideas around in your head for expressions and start to get a feel for what this kind of essay would sound like. Remember, even if you don't like how it sounds, but you like the structure and feel it really is you, then you can work on using better words and expressions during the next and last step, the writing. Using your brainstorming guideline, now work in order to build the best sentence of the idea you wrote down. For example, using our earlier example, instead of writing, "I went fishing, I felt science there," which is very vague and confusing, use well-written phrases that create interest. When I was younger, my family went on a fishing trip that ended up changing the entire way I looked at the universe. Students are all very different. Some write out the entire sentence, one at a time. Others will slowly build up each section. It's important to use a writing method that works for you, not always the one that feels like it's the easiest. However, one thing that doesn't work is when students look at this brainstorming step and skip it to go straight into writing. You will be competing with students that worked on theirs for more than a year in some cases. A well-planned essay will read very smoothly. Things don't ever need to be packaged into paragraphs, but the flow should be unbroken. Also, especially in topic 1, avoid using unexplained adjectives. Avoid sentences like, "I am studious because in my culture it is highly valued to be diligent." This sentence contains no information. You can't say something is exciting because it is unique and memorable. A sentence like this only takes up word count by itself, so remember to explain things that are important. Once you write all of your sentences, do a proofread for grammatical errors. Once you're done, you have a couple of options depending on how much time you have left. If you have decided to definitely use topic 1, then you can use the remaining time to really make each sentence special, really make it yours. Focus on diversity in both vocabulary and grammatical structure. If you have some time, or if this is your first time looking at the topics, I would suggest really doing the brainstorming for all 7 topics. So hopefully this has been useful for you. In the next one, we'll do the same thing, going over sample essays, brainstorming, and writing, but for topic number 2. Remember to like and subscribe if you find the videos helpful, and thank you for watching.